Hello everyone. Today's project is going to be repairing a windshield washer system on a BMW. It stopped working, but I do know that the electrical portion of it is fine because when I hit the washer I can hear the motor run. It's just no fluid comes out. Another symptom that I had in my particular case was the fluid would leak out after a couple of days, so I know it has a leak. So the reservoir is located inside the right front fender. So to gain access to it, you need to remove the right front wheel and the inner fender well liner. So I'm going to show you what I did in my particular case to determine what the problem was and how I repaired it. And hopefully you'll find this video helpful. Alrighty then, let's get this off. So here's your inner fender well liner. On the left side here, what I'm touching, there's going to be 3 little plastic rivets. You're going to take a punch and punch the center of the rivet through and then pry the rivets out. I'm going to talk about this later in the video, show you what the rivets look like. So you're going to take off all these bolts. I believe they're 8mm and 10mm. And they're just scattered throughout. There's not very many of them. I don't know, I'm going to guess maybe 6 to 8. Just look around. You'll see where it splits right here. Also underneath, there's going to be one with a Torx head. It's a plastic bolt. Take that out. And it's going to be another little plastic liner that goes with the fender well liner right here that you're looking at. Take that off too. Once you have it off, this is what it's going to look like. This is the fill tube that you're staring at right here. So when you fill it from the top of the engine, this is where the windshield washer fluid goes, and that's your reservoir. That's the 10mm bolt that holds the reservoir in place. You're going to remove that. And that's really all that's holding it in there. So once you take that bolt out, you're going to pull the front of it down like I'm doing here. And then you can just slide it out far enough to disengage the wiring and the plumbing, you know, the tubing and stuff. And also on the rear, you're going to pull out the fill tube itself. It's held on there by a little tab. Just be patient. Work the tube out. And you see the fill tube in the back. It's got a little tab. You just pull back on it and pulls right out. It's got a little rubber seal that goes around it. So make sure that seal's in good shape. There you go. Now right here that I'm going to point to is your washer pump, and that other connector in the back, the other gray piece, that's the level sensor. So now we're going to go check and see where it's leaking. So what I did to find out what it's leaking is I filled it halfway with water right there through the fill tube. Don't fill it too much because it'll just come out the vent tube hole on the top. And what I used to plug the fill tube to check for it to leak, I used a scupper plug from a kayak. So you can find any rubber plug that fits in there, but I found this that it worked perfect. So just shove it in there and then you're just going to hold it to determine where it's leaking. And in my particular case right here, hopefully the video will show it. You'll see that the washer pump itself is leaking. You'll see a couple of drops come out. There's one. There's another one. So the reservoir is actually fine. It's just the washer pump that needs to be replaced. And that just pulls right out, as you'll see right here. Just pull it towards you and then just pull it straight up. Now here's my new pump that I got from Amazon. That's the part number. and as you can see, they're identical. The only thing I did notice is on the connector, the original has that little ridge right there, but no worries, the new one doesn't have it, but the plug goes on there, it fits perfect anyways. And you can see that the orientation of the nozzles are the same. So the rivets I was mentioning to you earlier, this is what they look like. You can buy these from Amazon also. And you punch them through with this little punch like that. That's a little pin. It'll be flush when you see it. You just push it all the way through. Don't worry about it. These are so cheap, just buy a whole new set. I think I paid like, I don't know, like $10 for this pack. But not even that, maybe $7. And the pump itself, I bought the $25 version of it. They have some cheaper ones, but I don't know. I think this one was the best match for me. So I cleaned off the reservoir, and then I cleaned off the filter, and I just put it back in there and just reinstall your pump. Oops, that's the wrong one. And then go ahead and just reinstall everything like you took it off. Just take your time, plug everything back in. Don't forget how your harness was routed. And of course, plug in your reservoir fill tube. It just pushes right in. And like I said, make sure that seal is good. You can probably buy those also if it is bad. And just work it back in. And then just get your bolt. Right here, and just snug that up. That's it. That's all there's to this. Now before you put the fender well on, I'm going to check it. Just fill it with water for now. I'm going to go look for leaks. So let it sit for a while, make sure nothing's dripping. And of course, the other test is make sure that the washers themselves do work. So all you have to do is turn the ignition on and activate your windshield washers. Now go ahead and install your inner fender well. Piece of cake. Now these are the 3 rivets I was mentioning. So go ahead and just put those back in. Once you have them back in, go ahead and just get a small little hammer or anything that you can just tap the rivet so it's flush. And then that's it. Pretty much finish up putting on the bottom plastic molding, and you can put your wheel on, and that's it. That's all there's to it. Anyways, if you have any questions, feel free to post, and I'll try and answer your questions as best I can. And good luck.